This week's AI talk.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know if you've had a chance to check out What Jennifer Did, the charting Netflix documentary.
I did. It was #1, so I checked it out.
Yeah, apparently there is some AI created images that are in the documentary. This one image in particular I saw making the rounds that portrays the subject of the documentary, Jennifer Pond, at a party having fun, is a AI created image. They are basically making a false historical record here. And, I don't know, we've had the AI talk recently with Late Night with the Devil. And while I'm not a big fan of generative AI, I feel like there's not necessarily enough of it in that movie to make me want to discount the work of a bunch of people that went into that movie. This to me is a whole other bag. To me, this is kind of like I no longer want to see any films from this filmmaker ever. I think this is a one strike and you're out scenario. Because we're talking about documentary filmmaking, right? Like this is purportedly some documentation of the truth. And you are, you are breaking that contract with the audience when you include something like an AI image like this.
So you don't like when documentaries show you things that aren't real?
I think, well, it depends on what the purpose of the documentary is, but when you're talking about a true crime story, yeah, I don't want you to show me stuff that isn't real. I hate reenactments in true crime documentaries.
You
this is like one
editing?
step worse than that. What?
That's what it is, right? CapCut?
Yeah, CapCut?
No. They put that thing through CapCut? Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched it. And to be honest, I'm not really interested in it because of this. I don't know if there's some in context explanation of it, but it feels...
No. But what you're saying, I'm curious, how much more you'll hate it when you realize what it is. She gets... it's a true story, so if you...
yeah.
I don't care, actually. Spoilers. What Jennifer did is, in the title, she gets arrested. Her parents, one has been killed, the other's in a coma. She's like, they broke into the house, I didn't even know, and it's all this, and it's like, how did it happen? And she had a boyfriend, maybe it was the boyfriend, all this. Wait a minute, how'd you call us if you were tied? Now she's got to decide to actually, it's because I did this, and they start catching in her lies. Turns out she hired the people to shoot up her parents because she's been lying to her parents the entire time about the university she went through, the boyfriends that she had, all these different things, and she wanted them off. So now to use AI when you're trying to call out a deceptive person, very ironic. So I agree with you on that, but I'm asking you, do you not see a difference between that being the image that might have been taken on a phone and for the film, the AI that was used was to expand the ratio of the image? Is that different for you?
Well, I think...
I'm not saying that's the case, but is there a difference there?
I think there... I think it depends on the context of it, right? If you are implying something that is different from reality, if you are is sort of lying to the audience about what this is meant to represent, then you're crossing a line. Because there's we've seen there's a very common photo technique where sometimes you'll separate the subject of the image from the background in order to give it a Ken Burns effect. That's photo manipulation, but that's not lying about the context of the photo.
No, I 100% agree with you on that. Don't get it twisted. But if it was a base photo and expanding on it, then that's more in the Ken Burns effect. Because I know we're also in this era where AI, CG, deepfake, we're doing all these terms interchangeably. Right. Then you got people actually talking about real artificial intelligence like Ava from Ex Machina. So I know the conversations can go all over the place. I think the use of it in this documentary is just proof that Netflix has been doing it all along. This is the first time they caught it. I don't even know how they caught it. But bro, so many other docs are doing this. It's a pipeline technique to be able to get it out as fast as possible. Every business is using this.
I think we talked about it briefly with the Anthony Bourdain documentary, which did something that I also found to be a bit uncomfortable, although albeit different. But in that documentary, they took letters that Anthony Bourdain wrote and then used a AI voice creator of sorts to have him artificially speaking these letters, even though he never actually recorded them out loud.
How'd you feel about that?
I mean, again, I felt icky about that. I feel
was also very weird.
Yeah, it's just it feels unnecessary and again manipulative, particularly when you're talking about trying to make this as a profile of Anthony Bourdain. You're suddenly like lying about what he did and didn't say.
How do you feel about this one?
Ghostbusters, the Harold Ramis moment. I
If there's no
don't love that
violence,
either.
no death, but it's made out of love, is it a little different?
I mean, I don't like it. I guess it's maybe a little
You
bit
don't like it
different if you.
artistically or ethically?
I don't like it artistically. I also don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't know, man. I think it artistically. I think it's lazy and manipulative, and ethically, I think it just sort of crosses a line in terms of like, intent and consent and
Okay.
and
That is fair.
yeah.
Next one.
See, like, so you're bringing up the image of the Kendrick Lamar "The Heart" Part 5 video, which a lot of people are debating because of the Drake diss track that uses the voices, the AI voices of the rappers. But this is all. He's not. Where I would say I don't have a problem with the Kendrick video is that he's not lying about these people being in the video or trying to make you think that it's actually Kanye or OJ Simpson or Nipsey Hussle who are appearing in the video. He is, making a more a grander point through the lyrics of the song. There's like an artistic motivation for the way that that video does sort of like the deep fake type of technology.
Even if it's not consensual and one of the gentlemen is dead? Well, two now.
Sure, but I think it's different because you're not like animating their face and having them say it in their voice. Like, it's not trying to get you to say, like, try to get you to believe like, oh, Harold Ramis did this. You're never under the assumption that it's anybody other than Kendrick Lamar who's performing that moment.
So you see it like digital makeup.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like a biopic.
So then what do you think about Drake's AI Tupac?
I mean, I thought it was lame.
I just thought that was lame, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when this man sued people for his AI stuff. I remember this one right here. He put cease and desist out. I don't know if you remember that song, I forget what it's called. I used to play that at TIFF all the time. I thought it was better than some of the Drake stuff that was coming out. I think there's going to be a big thing with ethics. I'm curious at what point it because even with these two, right, the Drake one and the Kendrick one, that's where it's really come down to people talking about it. Do you care about it ethically or do you care about it artistically? And we're getting the two intertwined, and it's going to become a real mess of a talk because right now people don't see the difference between AI, CG, manual to generative. Like people like don't understand it, and I think the conversation has been diluted on purpose so that people are confused. LaShawn even brought up one of the most iconic ones when Jordan Peele did this. And pull this
Jordan
up
Peele
over
did
here.
the Obama deepfake, yeah.
Yeah, that was like a big deal because that was a warning about what was happening. And it was done so cleanly that it was actually pretty scary. Oh, it's not loading over here, but
Exactly.
yeah,
And but
this was
that's
iconic.
also like that the point of that video is to show how easily you can be manipulated, and I think that also speaks to what the larger point of this is. It's that, like it's less in a lot of ways about the use of AI in general and more in the expectations we have as viewers, and I think the responsibilities that content creators have to not lie or mislead their audiences, and if they are, to do it in ways that are artistic, done for an artistically meritable reason. Again, like, you can incorporate these technologies in artistic ways, but I think just hiding behind like, this is my artistic expression isn't enough. You have to consider the implications of your actions.
Kate Middleton, ethical or artistic? I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. All right. Next up, we have the Civil War marketing because it just doesn't stop. This one was a little atrocious in dealing with AI.
Yeah, what did you think about it? Because I know a lot of Chicago locals had an issue with the Chicago-themed Civil War poster they have on here.
What was the problem with the other ones? Obviously, they have that AI gleam to it, but what about this made you think that someone didn't do it? What about the other ones made people like, what about this one? It looks AI, obviously, but it could also be CG. All of this could... We knew this was AI immediately because Chicago knows that that's not what our place looks like. And it's the consistency of, we did something different. No, you didn't, because you didn't change Vegas. You didn't change the other ones, nor did you change it in your movie. So this
they
shows me that you did...
a second river to Chicago's river in the poster there.
What? Yeah, these towers are together. That shows me that you just like plugged it into AI, and that's where AI snitches on you. I don't know, bro. Why add more controversy, more fuel to the fire with the divisions you already have with the movie? That was kind of lame, especially with it being about photographers.
Right. Yeah. If the movie is about like war photography, you think you might want to use some like actual images or some actual artists for this. It's also the idea that I feel like these posters are selling a version of the movie that this is not. It's
this
selling
is like Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
Yeah, this is selling White House Down.
Exactly. And that's another reason why I agree with you completely. You know, my hot take is everybody asks for the political opinions of employees or creatives that work for A24, but no one ever asks A24 what the hell they believe in. And I think they've been very smart of being ahead of a lot of the curves from the strikes that had happened. Mm-hmm. And even this, where they're standing on AI. They are the money that commissions it, right? Just like with Jane pulling her movie out of the university.
Yeah, Columbia.
And then they went at her for maybe not pulling it out of South by or other things. Mm-hmm. South by makes tech for the university. The badges are $1,000 at South by, tuition a little different at the campus. I do think that the company should be more, held responsible, but they're clever. They keep it to the creative. So that's my hot take there. I don't think that's on the film. That is on the people who did it themselves.
Exactly. Alex Garland isn't sitting there punching in like Chicago River, but during a civil war into ChatGPT. He's...
But if you need it to get mad at him, there you go. They just screwed him over and added more fuel to the fire. We're still over-under on this one. After my praise for the first couple of... my first praises for Sugar got turned a little bit after that 6th episode. Mm-hmm. You and I were both willing to give it a pass for its title sequences looking maybe a little bit too much like that AI aesthetic. They came out and said, no, we have proof for it. We have the stems. We have the After Effects. People are waiting on it. You have faith that they're not also going to get canceled by episode 6? Because if people have baggage for episode 6, they're going to hold that accountable too.
I have faith because the title sequence has some subtle changes as the series progresses and that reflect the progression in the show.
The progression in AI generative material being that fast? I hope not.
I don't think AI would get this as precisely. You read some of the stories about how AI really fails to edit its own stuff, and I don't think AI could do that.
Well, I'm not even here, bro. There's been AI the entire time. There's been AI art right here. You haven't even noticed it. It's so ahead.
Damn,
I think at a certain point, when we watch green screen stuff and we don't realize, like, the explosions, of course, all this. But people walking down New York City and you're like, wait, you were in a studio for that? I remember seeing the ugly Betty stuff and going, I would have never thought green screen was used for that.
Right.
We're going to enter a point where we're not going to know what's AI or not.
For sure.
I think we're already there.
I think we're there now.
I think we're there. So I find it funny when we catch something and we go, we caught you slipping. And the real ones are getting away with it, bro.
Right. Like I'm always impressed by people's ability to spot AI art because I watched Late Night with the Devil and my alarms didn't ring at all.
We saw it in a theater though. We saw it in a theater. They're able to like scan the images in there.
Right.
And a lot of them they snitch on themselves when having to show their work, having to actually credit something. So, any more AI talk?
None for
AI
me.
awards?
Not this week. We'll find out more next week.
Every week there's some.